34th annual Boscov Berks Jazz Fest right here in Reading, Pennsylvania. Backstage at Berks, literally, at the Miller Center. Ilya Servo, it's so good to catch up with you. This is going to be wonderful. Your show with Aubrey Logan and also the Reading Pops Orchestra. And rehearsal went well, right?
Oh, it went great.
Yeah.
It's been my dream to be on the stage with this orchestra for years.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it play before. It was like, that would be so amazing to do. And couldn't be any better doing it with my Jeff and you know, we've been working together for many years now. And it's absolutely incredible with the show.
Well, the two of you have such great chemistry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what's going to shine. So it's at 3 o'clock today here at the Miller Center. So if you don't have your ticket yet, you still can get tickets. You can. So let's talk about this fabulous instrument that you actually made. It does have a name.
Yes, it has a name. I kind of got this idea a while back. A friend of mine suggested me to kind of research this guy in the UK who specializes in odd-looking instruments. And I thought it would be funny and interesting, you know, if I made a trumpet or a flugelhorn that looks like a saxophone. And he already attempted doing this in the past. Right. So we kind of collaborated on this, made some tweaks, made some ideas, created this little guy, which is one of a kind, it's one in existence, and I called it the Jazzahorn.
Yeah, that did.
But there's a lot of different names.
Yeah.
You know, one friend of mine, you know, trumpet player in Boscov, the Dr. Sousaphone, you know, that's the one that I just remembered. There's a couple of other ones. So, you know, everybody's always trying to come up with a name for it.
Right. So the sound with this instrument, tell me more about that.
Well, yeah, it's just a little bit warmer, a little bit richer than the regular trumpet.
Okay.
But it kind of plays like a trumpet or like the flugelhorn in that sense. You know, it's singing, you know, keep singing, you know.
But it's unique.
It's unique.
It's absolutely unique. Yeah. And you've been playing, you said, since you were 7, is that right?
7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the trumpet just kind of reached out and grabbed you, is that what it was?
You know, I mean, it's not as glamorous as it maybe for a lot of people. When it started for me, my mom wanted me to play music, so she took me to music school. And I sat through the whole band rehearsal, just looking at them. And there's 2 instruments that I wanted to play or really grabbed me. It was the drums or the tuba. Yeah. Because the guy was sitting right next to me and playing pool, and I was like, oh, that was awesome. That was fun. And then the band director said, you know what? I think trumpet would be a good instrument for him because trumpet players always needed bands and orchestras and, you know, concert bands, and that's how it started.
Right. So if you want a future.
Right? Yeah. So basically, the trumpet found me.
Yeah, it found you. It definitely found you. Well, you have a new release called.
Yes.
And isn't this all original now?
It's all original music. It was my first record that consisted of all original music. You know, it took me a while to get to the point when very vulnerable, I've been playing music of the Great American Songbook, you know, the big band era. You know, there's such a rich history and background, you know, writing and arrangements and lyrics. So I always felt a little intimidated, you know, how can you top that kind of music? How can you top those songs, you know, the best songs ever written? And then, you know, eventually I started experimenting. I started kind of growing into my own style, into my own vibe. And luckily, through my career, I met a lot of incredible, amazing musicians and writers who I felt compelled and interested in collaborating and exploring my own angles of my own musicality, different shades and different colors, and that's why I called it Album Colors, because we experimented on a lot of music stylistically, musically, and of course I collaborated with a lot of amazing artists on this software. So that was a kind of a collaborative joint effort that I'm really happy about.
Well, you have a beautiful voice with this instrument. You have beautiful singing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my. There is so much emotion in it.
Yeah.
What you put into song. So singing.
I really like that old school crooners, you know, like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and some of the contemporary ones like Jr. And that's where my background started. When I started singing, Chet Baker was another one of my big inspirations. So I kind of went through a little bit of that path through the 40s and through searching for my own way, for my own path, for my own sound. And I feel like that album Colors was that point where I am right now. I feel like I'm still in the process. You know, I feel like it never ends.
Yes.
You know, this musical journey of these goals.
Absolutely.
You never know where it's gonna take you in
No,
10
you
years
don't.
or 15 years. But for now, I'm happy
That's good.
where I am.
Well, let's just put this out here in crystal ball,
Mhm.
okay? Where do you see yourself? Where would you like to be, or something you'd like to do, or a place you'd like to play? Is there something that's like a heart's desire for you?
I mean, there are probably a lot of places, but again, I probably would not put anything like I wouldn't single any particular
Right.
place or anything. It's just doing what we do right now. That's exactly what any musician or most musicians would want to do. Being able to travel, being able to meet amazing people, being able to exchange that energy and collaborate with incredible musicians. So that's already in itself is a joy, in itself is a blessing, you know. And of course, you know, continue to always grow the fan base, grow musicians.
In every way, shape, and
the
form.
friend base, in every shape
Oh,
and
yeah,
form.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, with fan base, how do we find you?
You can find me on I guess my website would be probably the main hub, you know, it's ilyaservo.com, and I have all the links to my social media. I'm on Instagram, it's Ilya Servo Music, and Facebook the same, and I have a big YouTube channel with a lot of videos. And
So we can find
I'll
you.
do that, please, yes.
Yeah, we can Google you, we can share, whatever.
Absolutely.
There's some great
Yes.
videos. And that's what I was listening to. It was like, oh, wow, can't wait to hear this today. So once again, it is 3 o'clock here today at the Miller Center. And this is the 34th annual Boscov Berks Jazz Fest in Reading, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much
Thank you so much.
for taking time.
I
It's been a real
appreciate
joy to talk to you.
It was a joy being with you.